The Bargain of Fools. The holographic display in the United Earth Defense Command Center showed the massive Velderi trading vessel as it detached from Earth's orbital dock. Captain Maya Reese stood with her arms crossed, watching as the alien ship's engines flared to life, propelling it toward the jump point that would take it back to Velderi space. Behind it, floating in Earth's orbit like abandoned junkyard scraps, were 15 warships, humanity's first interstellar military vessels. 2 trillion credits, Admiral Chen said, stepping beside her. That's what they charged us for this collection of space garbage. Maya's jaw tightened, and the United Earth Council agreed. They didn't have much choice. The Galactic Concord requires member species to maintain their own defense force. Without these ships, Earth remains isolated and vulnerable. The ships, officially designated as the Guardian Fleet by Earth's optimistic media, were indeed a sorry sight. Their hulls were pitted and scarred, energy conduits visibly patched with mismatched materials, and weapon mounts that looked like they'd been stripped and hastily replaced with older models. The Velderi, one of the founding species of the Galactic Concord, had presented the sale as an act of generosity toward the emerging humans. Earth had achieved faster-than-light travel just 7 years ago, joining the interstellar community with hope and enthusiasm. Those hopes had quickly given way to the harsh realities of galactic politics. Earth was resource-rich, but technologically behind, making humans perfect targets for exploitation by older, more established species. "Admiral Takeda wants to see you," Chen said, breaking Maya's contemplation. "Something about a special assessment of our new acquisitions." An hour later, Maya stood in Admiral Hiroshi Takeda's office deep within the Lunar Defense Headquarters. The walls displayed a mixture of classical naval maps alongside star charts, the history of human expansion from sea to stars. "Captain Reese," Takeda said without preamble, "what I'm about to share is classified at the highest level." The Admiral activated a secure holographic display on his desk. It showed the schematic of what appeared to be a propulsion system unlike anything Maya had seen before. "This," he said, "is what we're calling the graviton compression drive. It's a technology we developed independently from the standard Concorde approach to FTL travel. When our scientists discovered the conventional method used by most species, this research was shelved." Maya studied the schematic. "What makes it special, sir?" "It utilizes principles that the Velderi and other Concorde species never explored. Their technological evolution took a different path." Takeda's eyes gleamed. "And this is just one of several technological divergences our scientists have identified." He swiped to another display, showing one of the newly acquired Velderi ships. "The Velderi think they've sold us obsolete junk. What they don't know is that human innovation works differently. Where they see trash, we see opportunity." Maya began to understand. "You want to retrofit these ships with our technology. Not just retrofit, transform." Takeda leaned forward. "Captain Reese, you're one of our best engineers with combat experience. I'm assigning you to Project Phoenix. You'll select a crew of our top scientists and engineers. Your mission is to take the least damaged of these vessels and turn it into something the Velderi would never expect, while maintaining its decrepit exterior appearance." "Psychological advantage," Maya nodded. "They'll continue to underestimate us." "Exactly. The Velderi sold us what they consider obsolete technology at premium prices. They're already establishing mining operations throughout our system, paying a fraction of what our resources are worth on the galactic market. They see us as primitive newcomers to be exploited." Takeda's expression hardened. "It's time they learn that humanity isn't to be trifled with." For the next 4 months, Maya and her hand-picked team worked in a hidden facility on Mars' far side. The ship they selected, renamed Phoenix, still looked like the rusted warship the Velderi had sold them. Inside was a different story entirely. "We've replaced almost everything," Dr. Sanjay Kapoor, the chief engineer, reported as he led Maya through the engine room. "Propulsion, weapons, life support, shields, all human technology now. We've even added a few innovations that weren't in the original plans." And the graviton compression drive? Maya asked, examining the new power core that hummed with barely contained energy. Fully integrated, the efficiency is beyond our initial projections. This ship can now outrun anything in the Veldari fleet. Sanjay's face lit up with pride. But that's not even the most exciting part. He led her to a small chamber adjacent to the bridge. Inside was a device no larger than a desk terminal. This is what we're calling the phantom field generator. It's an offshoot of our graviton research. What does it do? Maya asked, studying the unassuming device. It creates a localized distortion in space-time around the ship. Not enough for interdimensional travel, but enough to render us virtually invisible to standard Concorde scanning technology. Their sensors register the distorted space as background radiation. Maya's eyes widened. That's revolutionary technology. The Veldari took a different technological path. They never discovered the principles behind graviton compression or phantom field generation. Sanjay smiled. Their arrogance blinded them to other possibilities. They assume their technological path is the only viable one. Meanwhile, the situation with the Veldari had deteriorated further. The alien species had established 27 mining operations across Earth's solar system, extracting valuable minerals and paying less than 10% of their worth on the galactic market. When Earth's representatives attempted to renegotiate the terms, they were flatly refused. United Earth President Aisha Okafor called an emergency meeting with her military advisors, including Admiral Takeda and Captain Reese. The holographic display showed 3 massive Veldari warships that had entered the solar system, positioning themselves near major mining operations. High Chancellor Corvin has demanded increased mining rights and reduced compensation. President Okafor informed them, her voice tight with controlled anger. They've given us 72 hours to comply or face what they call corrective measures. Admiral Takeda looked to Maya. Captain, is the Phoenix ready? Maya nodded. Yes, Admiral. All systems are operational, and the crew is prepared. Then it's time for Project Phoenix to commence, the Admiral said. The Veldari believe we're helpless. They think those rusted warships they sold us are barely functional. They're about to learn how dangerous it is to underestimate humanity. President Okafor looked uncertain. 1 ship against 3 Veldari dreadnoughts. Even with our technological innovations, those aren't favorable odds. We don't need favorable odds, Madam President, Maya said confidently. We just need the element of surprise and the chance to demonstrate what humanity is capable of. The Veldari have never faced anything like what we're about to unleash. Admiral Takeda nodded. Sometimes the most effective message is the one nobody sees coming. As Maya left the meeting to prepare her ship and crew, she couldn't help but smile at the irony. The Veldari had sold Earth weapons thinking they were rendering humans harmless. Instead, they had provided the very vessels that would become instruments of their humbling. The Phoenix might appear to be a rusted relic on the outside, but inside beat the heart of human ingenuity. And soon, the Veldari would learn that appearances could be deceiving, especially when it came to the newest species in the Galactic Concorde, the Silent Reckoning. The 3 Veldari dreadnoughts hung in Earth's orbit like massive predators, their sleek purple hulls gleaming in the sunlight. Each vessel stretched nearly 2 kilometers in length, bristling with weapon systems that could reduce entire cities to ash. Beside them, the 15 ships of Earth's Guardian Fleet looked like children's toys, outdated, decrepit, and utterly harmless. On the Phoenix's bridge, Captain Maya Reese sat in the command chair, outwardly calm despite the tension crackling through the air. Her ship still looked like the rusted warship the Veldari had sold them, its hull patched and scarred, external weapon systems visibly outdated. The perfect disguise. Incoming transmission from the Veldari flagship. Lieutenant Sarah Chen reported from the communication station. On screen, Maya ordered. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing the imposing figure of Veldari High Chancellor Corvin. His scaled skin was a deep indigo, with bioluminescent patterns pulsing along his facial ridges, a sign of agitation, according to xenobiologists. Humans, Corvin's translator converted his sibilant speech to English. Your time to accept our generous terms has expired. We are disappointed by your reluctance to embrace the natural order of galactic commerce. Maya leaned forward slightly. High Chancellor, Earth is willing to negotiate fair terms for resource extraction. We simply ask for equitable compensation and reasonable limits on mining operations. Corvin's bioluminescent patterns flashed brighter. Negotiations imply equality. Human, your species has barely emerged from your planetary cradle. The ships protecting your world were obsolete by our standards 2 centuries ago. You have nothing to negotiate with. Perhaps we should discuss this further, Maya suggested. Our vessel can approach your flagship for direct talks. The Veldari made a sound that the translator rendered as laughter. You wish to approach in that rusted hull? Very well. It will give my crew amusement to see what passes for a warship among your kind. You may approach, slowly, with weapons powered down. The transmission ended, and Maya exchanged glances with her bridge crew. They took the bait, Commander Jackson Powell, her tactical officer, said with a grim smile. Maya nodded. Prepare all systems. Maintain exterior appearance, but bring all retrofitted systems to full readiness. Activate the phantom field generator at 20%, just enough to mask our energy signatures, but not our physical presence. As the Phoenix broke formation with the rest of Earth's fleet, Admiral Takeda's voice came through on a secure channel. Good hunting, Captain. Remember, our goal isn't destruction but demonstration. The Veldari need to understand that humanity won't be exploited. Understood, Admiral. Maya responded. Phoenix out. The ship moved toward the Veldari dreadnoughts, its engines emitting visible radiation trails, a deliberate effect created to maintain the illusion of outdated technology. To any observer, the Phoenix appeared to be limping through space, barely capable of maintaining its trajectory. Graviton compression drive operating at minimal output. Chief Engineer Kapoor reported from engineering. We could outrun their fastest ships if needed, but they're reading us as barely functional. Phantom field generator stable at 20%. Lieutenant Amir Rahman added from the science station. Our weapons and advanced systems are completely masked from their sensors. Maya watched as they approached the lead Veldari dreadnought, a massive vessel named the Sovereign Fang according to their intelligence. At 500 meters in length, the Phoenix was a quarter of its size. They're scanning us, Rahman reported. Standard Concord protocols. They're only seeing what we want them to see. They've opened their hangar bay, Powell noted. They're signaling for us to dock inside. Maya smiled. Perfect. That puts us right where we need to be. As the Phoenix was drawn into the cavernous hangar bay of the Sovereign Fang, Maya could see Veldari crew members gathering to observe the human vessel. Their postures and gestures conveyed unmistakable amusement and disdain. Docking complete, Chen reported. Receiving request for you to board their ship for discussions. Tell them I'll be honored to meet with the High Chancellor, Maya replied. And initiate Phase 2. While Maya prepared to leave the ship with a small diplomatic team, the real operation began. With the Phoenix now inside the Veldari flagship's hangar, Rahman increased the phantom field generator to 40%. The field now extended beyond their hull, subtly affecting the space around them. Graviton tethers deployed, Kapoor reported quietly. We're now linked to their primary systems, initiating silent infiltration protocols. Maya stepped off the Phoenix with 3 officers, all wearing formal United Earth Defense Force uniforms. They were met by a contingent of Veldari guards, towering reptilian figures in ornate armor. Your vessel is even more pathetic up close, the lead guard said through his translator. I've seen scrap yards with more impressive specimens. Maya maintained a neutral expression. We work with what we have. They were escorted through the massive dreadnought to the command deck, where High Chancellor Corvin awaited them. The Veldari Command Center was a marvel of advanced technology, with holographic displays showing the positions of all vessels in the solar system. Captain Reese, Corvin said, his translator giving his voice a condescending tone. Welcome aboard a real warship. Perhaps after you witness true Veldari power, you'll understand why resistance is futile. We're always eager to learn, High Chancellor, Maya replied diplomatically. Corvin gestured to a holographic display showing Earth. Your planet has resources we need. The Galactic Concord has rules of commerce that have worked for millennia. New species provide resources. Established species provide technology and protection. It is the natural order. And what if we disagree with this natural order? Maya asked. Corvin's bioluminescent patterns pulsed. Then we demonstrate why it exists. He turned to his weapons officer. Target one of their uninhabited orbital stations. Show them what happens when primitives fail to understand their place. The weapons officer touched several controls, but nothing happened. He tried again, confusion evident in his movements. What is the delay? Corvin demanded. Weapons systems are not responding, High Chancellor, the officer replied, his translator conveying his confusion. Suddenly, the ship's lighting flickered. Holographic displays distorted, then stabilized, but now showed different information. Instead of the Veldari fleet surrounding Earth's outdated vessels, it showed all 3 Veldari dreadnoughts highlighted in red, with targeting locks from an unknown source. What is happening? Corvin demanded. Maya touched her communicator. Phoenix, status report. Commander Powell's voice came through clearly. Phase 2 complete, Captain. We have silent control of all 3 dreadnoughts' primary systems. Weapons, propulsion, and shields are under our influence. The phantom field has been extended to mask our activities. Corvin turned to Maya, his bioluminescent patterns now flashing rapidly in what human xenobiologists recognized as alarm. What have you done? We've demonstrated an important lesson about underestimating primitive species, Maya replied calmly. While you were focusing on our obsolete exterior, you failed to consider that human innovation might work differently than Veldari technology. On cue, the Phoenix's true capabilities were revealed on all holographic displays. The decrepit warship was now shown with its actual specifications, a revolutionary propulsion system, advanced defensive capabilities, and the phantom field generator that had allowed it to infiltrate the Veldari ship's systems undetected. Impossible, one of the Veldari officers muttered. Their technological path couldn't have led to these developments. That's exactly our point, Maya said. You assumed your path of technological evolution was the only viable one. You never considered that humans might discover principles you overlooked. She walked around the command deck, now in control of the situation despite being surrounded by Veldari who towered over her. Right now, your ships are under our control. We could disable them permanently or worse. But destruction isn't our goal. We want something much simpler, respect and fair treatment. High Chancellor Corvin's posture had changed completely. The arrogant superiority was gone, replaced by cautious reassessment. You've made your point, Captain. Perhaps we should renegotiate our arrangements. Maya nodded. I think that would be wise. And this time, we'll negotiate as equals. Within hours, the situation had transformed. The United Earth delegation, now led by President Okafor herself, met with the Veldari representatives aboard a neutral Concord vessel that had been summoned to witness the proceedings. The terms of resource extraction were completely rewritten, with fair compensation and sustainable practices now central to the agreement. As Maya watched from the Phoenix, Admiral Takeda's voice came through on a secure channel. You've done something remarkable today, Captain. You've changed humanity's standing in the Galactic Concord without firing a single shot. The Veldari gave us the tools for their own humbling, Maya replied. They just never imagined we'd use them so effectively. 6 months later, Earth's position in the Galactic Concord had been transformed. The Veldari, now understanding the unique path of human innovation, had become cautious allies rather than exploitative overlords. The Guardian fleet had been fully retrofitted with human technology, while maintaining their unassuming exteriors, a strategy that had proven so effective that it became Earth's signature approach. In the Concord Council chambers, species that had once dismissed humans as newcomers to be exploited now watched them with new respect, and in some cases, apprehension. Earth's representatives walked the halls with confidence, no longer the naive newcomers but recognized innovators who had charted their own unique technological course. And in deep space, far from prying eyes, more Phoenix-class vessels were being constructed. On the outside, they appeared to match the conventional designs of other Concord species. Inside, they contained the growing edge of human ingenuity, a reminder that appearances could be deceiving, and that sometimes the most powerful force in the universe was the underestimated potential of a species determined to forge its own path among the stars. The rusted warships that had once been sold to Earth as obsolete junk had become the symbol of humanity's rise, not through overwhelming force, but through innovation, adaptability, and the timeless human talent for turning another's discarded trash into unexpected treasure.